With its efficient powertrain, long list of standard equipment, and reasonable price, the Corolla Cross stands as one of the most natural choices in the small SUV segment. But once you scratch the surface, things begin to look a little bit different. Let's check out 7 problems with the Toyota Corolla Cross you must know. Number 7. Cheap-looking interior. When you're spending your hard-earned money on a new SUV, you expect the interior to reflect that investment. Unfortunately, the Corolla Cross is going to leave you questioning where your money actually went. The cabin features what can only be described as an abundant use of plastic throughout, and it's going to feel a step below what you'd expect from Toyota's usual standards. Automotive critics consistently describe the interior as simple, businesslike, and utilitarian, but that's just a polite way of saying it looks cheap. The lower trims are particularly basic inside, with hard plastic surfaces dominating the dashboard and door panels. Even the cargo bay features what feels like very thin, felted flooring that doesn't inspire confidence in long-term durability. While higher trims do offer some improvements like faux leather upholstery and Softex trimmed seats, the widespread use of less appealing plastics throughout the cabin is going to be a constant reminder of cost-cutting measures. The neutral color palette further contributes to that utilitarian rather than premium feel you're hoping for. Here's what's really happening behind the scenes. Toyota is clearly prioritizing affordability and their reputation for durability over aesthetic appeal. But this creates a tension where you're getting materials that might last forever, but they're not going to feel or look premium in your daily driving experience. Number 6. Excessive cabin noise. If you're planning on taking your Corolla Cross on highway trips, prepare yourself for a reality check. The vehicle suffers from a noticeable level of road noise that's going to enter the cabin at highway speeds, making those longer journeys less peaceful than you'd expect from a modern SUV. Owner reviews consistently describe the vehicle as loud on the highway, and you're going to find yourself turning up the radio and raising your voice just to have a normal conversation. While the noise levels might be acceptable around town or compared to much older vehicles, the highway drone is going to be a persistent companion on extended drives. But the road noise isn't the only culprit. The gasoline engine itself is going to contribute to the cabin's lack of serenity. When you push the engine hard, it becomes coarse and buzzy, and even the hybrid version can get surprisingly noisy under acceleration. This growl or drone becomes particularly noticeable when you're climbing hills or trying to merge onto highways. Clearly, Toyota implemented cost-saving measures in the noise, vibration, and harshness insulation. The general consensus is that more sound deadening would significantly improve the ownership experience. Number 5. Tight rear seats. Here's where the Corolla Cross is going to disappoint families who thought they were getting true SUV versatility. The rear seats offer just 32 inches of legroom, which is significantly less than what you'll find in direct competitors. To put this in perspective, the Volkswagen Taos provides 37.9 inches, and the Subaru Crosstrek offers 4.5 inches more legroom than the Corolla Cross. This deficit is going to become a real problem if both the driver and passengers have longer legs. For taller adults, particularly those over 6 feet, the rear seating experience is going to feel cramped and uncomfortable. Even though the official headroom figures look decent at 39 inches, the overall rear passenger experience is going to feel more like a compact sedan than a spacious family SUV. The practical implications extend beyond just passenger comfort. Fitting larger car seats is going to be challenging due to the narrower than average lower door opening, combined with that rear legroom deficit. Owner experiences confirm that even a medium-sized dog is going to take up quite a bit of the back seat, and accommodating a large dog plus a child car seat might not be viable at all. What's really happening here is that the Corolla Cross, being essentially a lifted version of the Corolla sedan, can't escape the fundamental interior volume limitations of its platform. While it offers that elevated driving position you want from an SUV, it's not going to deliver the spacious rear seating that families typically expect when they make the switch to a crossover. Number 4. CVT rubber band effect. The Corolla Cross utilizes a continuously variable transmission across its entire lineup, and this is where the driving experience is going to feel distinctly different from what you might expect. Unlike traditional automatic transmissions that cycle through distinct gears, the CVT operates with variable diameter pulleys and a belt system that creates what's known as the rubber band effect. When you accelerate hard, you're going to experience something unsettling. The engine RPMs will rise and stay at a consistently high level rather than cycling through gear changes like you're used to. This creates a distinct droning noise and a sensation that no progress is being made in terms of engine revs, even as the vehicle gains speed. This droning and rubber band sensation is going to be particularly noticeable during spirited acceleration, as it lacks the familiar, linear feel of a traditional geared transmission. While the CVT is designed for efficiency and smooth operation, its characteristic noise and feel during acceleration are going to detract from any sense of driving engagement. The engine becomes increasingly coarse and buzzy when pushed hard, exacerbating that monotonous droning sound. This means that while the Corolla Cross is capable of accelerating, the process is going to be accompanied by an unrefined and monotonous engine note that reinforces the impression of a basic, utilitarian vehicle rather than a polished one. Number 3. Limited cargo versatility. While the Corolla Cross offers competitive cargo numbers on paper, there's a significant practical limitation that's going to affect your real-world usage. The rear seats don't fold completely flat, and you're going to encounter a big raised edge between the folded back seats and the cargo area in many models. This uneven load floor is going to significantly impact your ability to transport long, flat items, or use the cargo area for activities like car camping, where a continuous flat surface is essential. Some owners have actually resorted to cutting their own plywood boards to create a level surface, which really highlights how this design choice compromises the vehicle's versatility. The cargo volume figures themselves are respectable. FWD models typically provide around 24 cubic feet behind the second row, while all-wheel drive variants offer about 21.5 cubic feet. But when competitors like the Volkswagen Taos offer more cargo volume and better load floor practicality, the Corolla Cross is going to feel less adaptable for those weekend adventures or larger hauling needs. Number 2. Uninspiring handling and ride quality. The driving experience in the Corolla Cross is consistently described by automotive critics as unremarkable and uninspiring, and that's going to become apparent from your very first drive. There's a pervasive absence of any driving excitement or genuine engagement when you're behind the wheel. This characteristic stems primarily from the numb steering and soft suspension setup. While this configuration is effective at absorbing road imperfections for comfortable daily commuting, it's going to fail to provide any meaningful sense of connection or agility when you want to enjoy the driving experience. The handling is further characterized by what can only be described as lifeless steering response, indicating that Toyota's design priority was clearly on comfort and ease of daily use rather than dynamic responsiveness. You're also going to notice considerable body roll compared to a sedan, particularly during cornering, braking, or acceleration. The soft suspension setup creates a fundamental compromise. While it helps with ride comfort, it inevitably leads to that numb steering feel and noticeable body roll in more spirited driving scenarios. This represents Toyota's deliberate engineering choice to prioritize the absorption of road imperfections over sporty handling or driving engagement. Number 1. Lethargic gas engine performance. The gasoline-powered Corolla Cross features a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine that produces 169 horsepower and around 150 pound-feet of torque. While these figures might look adequate on paper, the real-world performance is consistently described as weak and sluggish. Independent testing reveals some eye-opening acceleration numbers. The all-wheel drive model takes 9.5 seconds to reach 60 miles per hour. The primary real-world implication is that you're going to need a bit of planning when attempting to pass at freeway speeds. The engine tends to become coarse and buzzy when pushed hard, and highway merging is going to take longer than you'd expect, potentially making those situations more challenging and less confident. What's particularly telling is the comparison to the hybrid version, which is noticeably more powerful and much quicker, achieving 0 to 60 miles per hour in 7.5 seconds. The hybrid also delivers significantly better fuel economy, effectively positioning the gas-only engine as a less desirable choice for most driving scenarios. This substantial performance advantage of the hybrid model suggests that the weak gas engine exists primarily as an entry-level price leader rather than a fully optimized powertrain. For buyers on a strict budget who opt for the gas model, these performance limitations are going to be a constant reminder of the compromise made, particularly when you need that extra power for highway driving or hill climbing. The gap between Toyota's marketing claims of punchy 169 horsepower and the actual sluggish driving reality represents a significant disconnect between how the vehicle is positioned and what you're actually going to experience behind the wheel. But don't think that the Corolla Cross is the only small SUV that comes with lots of compromises. Check out this video about the problems with the Subaru Crosstrek you must know, which you can now see on the screen. Although versatile, capable, and practical, Subaru's entry-level crossover also comes with a couple of serious drawbacks.